You did it this morning before you got out of bed. You probably did it within the first 4 minutes of waking up, before you brushed your teeth, before you ate anything, before you said a single word to another human being. You picked up your phone and you checked it. And the strange part is you had no idea you were going to do it until it was already done. That moment, that automatic, almost invisible reach, is not a bad habit. It is not a character flaw. It is one of the most sophisticated psychological traps ever engineered, built specifically around the way your brain was wired long before phones existed. And once you understand exactly what is happening inside your mind every time you pick that thing up, you will never look at it the same way again. Let's start with a concept called variable reward. In the 1950s, a behavioral psychologist named B.F. Skinner was running experiments on pigeons. He put them in boxes with levers. When a pigeon pushed the lever, it sometimes got food and sometimes got nothing. And what Skinner found was almost unsettling. The pigeons did not slow down when the reward became unpredictable. They sped up. They pushed the lever more obsessively than they ever had when the reward was guaranteed. Unpredictability did not kill motivation. It supercharged it. Your phone is Skinner's box. Every time you open it, you might find something exciting, a message you've been waiting for, a post that makes you laugh. Or you might find absolutely nothing. And that uncertainty is not a flaw in the design. That uncertainty is the product. Now think about the last time you checked your phone and felt a small rush when something was there. A reply you'd been hoping for. A like on something you posted. That feeling has a name. It is dopamine. And dopamine did not evolve to make you happy. It evolved to make you seek. This is the part most people miss. Dopamine is not released when you get a reward. It is released in anticipation of a reward, when you think something good might be there. Your brain fires dopamine in the space between the reach and the result. The reach is the hit. The scroll is the hit. By the time you actually see something, the dopamine has already come and gone, which means you are immediately ready for the next reach. Neuroscientist Kent Berridge at the University of Michigan spent his career studying the difference between wanting and liking. What he found is that your brain has two completely separate systems for each. You can want something intensely while getting almost no satisfaction from having it. You can crave the next scroll with everything you have, get there, feel nothing, and immediately crave the next one. This is not a metaphor. This is a measurable neurological state. And it is the default state your phone keeps you in. Most people who study their own phone use are genuinely shocked by the numbers. The average person unlocks their phone somewhere between 80 and 150 times per day. Many of those unlocks last fewer than 30 seconds. You open it, find nothing that moves you, close it, and open it again 4 minutes later. The behavior precedes the reason. The reach happens before the thought. Here is what makes all of this so difficult to escape. The behaviors your phone hijacks are not weaknesses. They are features. Your brain is supposed to respond to social signals. For your ancestors, missing a social cue could mean being excluded from the group. Your brain is supposed to respond to novelty. New information was often survival critical. Your brain is supposed to be drawn toward variable rewards. The hunter, who kept searching even when the forest seemed empty, found food. Every reflex that makes you reach for your phone evolved because in a different environment, it kept your ancestors alive. The phone did not create these impulses. The phone found them, mapped them, and built a product directly on top of them. And you are not fighting a bad habit. You are fighting an industry. One with behavioral scientists, A/B, testing at the scale of hundreds of millions of users and real-time feedback loops that allow them to optimize every notification, every sound, every content recommendation within hours of deployment. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology by Kostadin-Kushlev and Elizabeth Dunn found that simply receiving notifications, not even checking them, just receiving them, significantly elevated stress and increased errors in attention tasks. The phone does not need to be in your hand to affect your mind. It needs to be nearby. The possibility of interruption alone is enough to fragment your focus. What you can do, and this is where it gets interesting, is change the conditions under which these impulses fire. Remove the phone from the room and the loop cannot start. Turn off the notifications and the alert system has nothing to respond to. These are not willpower strategies. They are environment design. They work not because you became stronger, but because you changed the conditions that were making you weak. What Skinner's pigeons could never do is understand the box they were in. The pigeon keeps pushing the lever because it cannot step back and ask why. You can. And once you see the mechanism clearly, once you recognize the loop as it starts to fire, you have something the pigeon never had, a moment of choice. Tonight, when you set your phone down and feel the pull to pick it up again for no particular reason, that pull is not you. It is a system that was built to feel like you, designed to feel like curiosity, like connection, like a reasonable instinct, designed to be invisible. Now it isn't. You did it this morning before your eyes were fully open. But the person who reaches for it tonight knows something the person who reached for it this morning did not.